Hi everyone, Aiden here at the etrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at the RockyMounts GuideRail platform style bike rack and seeing how it fits on the back of our 2023 Toyota RAV4. Now it's going to be a more high-end platform style bike rack, very easy to operate, and works with a wide range of bikes. This particular one is going to be a dual wheel mount style, which means we're holding the bike by the tires on both sides using these integrated wheel hoops. Now, for this type of style, that's not going to make any frame contact, making this a good option for carbon frame bikes, alternative frame bikes, and with a 60-pound weight capacity per bike, good for some of our e-bikes too. Like many other platform racks, you do have the ability to tilt this away with the bikes loaded. There's a blue handle at the bottom of the rack that we can pull and lower the rack down. I will say it does tilt pretty far, and if you've got it fully loaded with two bikes, you might find that you kind of get trapped underneath the bike rack, but it does give you plenty of room to open up the back hatch if that's not a concern for you. With this, we can get stuff in and out of the back or have an easy place to sit down and change our shoes before or after our ride. And because it gives you more clearance from the RAV4 compared to some other options out there, we don't have to worry about our long legs maybe not being able to reach up as easily. Getting this closed back down, you can lift the bike rack back into place and it'll just click in once it's all set. Right there. And like I said, the loading and unloading is really easy. To do that, we've got these blue buttons and levers down at the bottom that control the ratcheting mechanism. To break the tension that's on them, give them a push and then flip them completely up to fully disengage the ratcheting mechanism and let us push the arms out. We can push them out as far as we want to get us a full open space to just lift the bike up and away. And then I can set this to the side and we can take a closer look at the rack itself. Now with this, we'll probably start off with some measurements after we get these arms folded back down. Make sure you flip that lever just to re-engage the ratcheting mechanism to keep the arms from popping back up. And taking a step back and looking at the rack, you can see we've got a good rise in the shank, and the two platforms are staggered a bit here, with the one in the rear sitting higher up from the one in the front. That helps with bike-to-bike contact, but it does also give us better ground clearance. So at the back end here, the lowest point to the ground has 21.5 inches of space, and that's to the handle right here. I think that's going to give us plenty of room for whatever we find ourselves in, whether it be steep hills, driveways, or maybe even a little bit of off-road use. The distance that we add to the back from the bumper to the end of the rack is going to be 27 inches. That's not going to stick out too far. It's going to be pretty condensed and I'd say work really well for a two-bike rack. But we can fold it up. Whenever the bike rack's not in use, use that same handle that we did before, fold the rack upright, and use that to save some space. So we can leave it in the hitch between rides, and it's not as obtrusive. Only sticking out 10.5 inches now, and as you can see, it is sitting very close to the bumper. I'd say the closest point is probably at the bottom right here, where we've got 2 inches of space, which may not sound like a lot, but this bike rack is solid. Even at the pivot point here, we really don't have any movement, so I'm not worried about vehicle contact. With it folded up like this, we can also see it's not going to obstruct the license plate or our backup camera or our taillights. Obviously, when you have it folded out and bikes are on here, that may be a different story depending on how your bikes fit. But in this between rides position, it's not going to be a nuisance. Coming on down to the hitch, we can see it's working with our 2-inch by 2-inch receiver tube and uses a locking anti-rattle bolt that keeps things solid and secure in the hitch. That lock, I can take it out here, is key-to-like to a locking point on top of the rack. The rack does come with a chain lock that'll secure to a set point on the tray, and then this locking core at the end is used to control whether it's locked or not. Again, it's the same key system, so we only have to worry about one key for both locks. And overall, the GuideRail is a personal favorite of mine. It's simple, it's strong, and it works with a wide range of bikes. I think on the RAV4 here, it fits exceptionally well with very few clearance issues and not sticking out super far. It's a nice clean fit, and it doesn't obstruct anything that I'd be concerned about. But that'll do it for our look at the RockyMounts GuideRail on our 2023 Toyota RAV4. Thanks for watching.